The RAB was on the ground at NAB Show 2026 in Las Vegas. The convention brought together nearly 60,000 attendees, including over 1,100 exhibitors, alongside high-profile keynote speakers and forward-looking sessions spanning broadcasting, media, advertising, and entertainment. The conversation throughout the week for radio was clear. The medium continues to evolve, the new opportunities, and a shared commitment to moving forward with one voice. We are excited to share the latest Radio on Main Street podcast series, featuring conversations with leading voices across the industry. Explore perspectives on advertising and sales, digital, innovation, AI, storytelling, content creation, community service, and philanthropy. And you will hear firsthand the passion that is driving their work, along with their outlook on what's ahead for radio. Eddie, welcome to Main Street. I like Main Street here at the NAB, which is like the Grand Central
Feels
Station.
like Main Street.
And it's Hollywood
It's
to
Hollywood.
a certain extent.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
We really appreciate that. I want to dive into, all things that are happening in urban women, but what I really want to do starting is like you. Like you and Dion Livingston kind of, call it Batman and Robin or whatever, or Abbott and Costello, depending on what day, but you two have been joined together, in a new role, in an exciting opportunity. Give us a little background behind that.
Well, Dion and I had the opportunity to follow David Cantor. David was a mentor, a friend, a colleague, our leader for a number of years. And when he retired, we went through a process to how do we replace him. And you replaced David Cantor with two people.
Yeah.
That's how big of a shoes there are. And so Dion and I split up the audio division, the radio division when David retired, and it's been about a year and a half now. And we're having a lot of fun. We're partners in crime. We talk several times a day. But we're all about making the best of what we have with an incredible team that we have at Urban One.
How was your experience and you've done a lot, in the industry. You've been very active in leadership as well. You've been an important voice on the Multicultural Committee of the RAB, which we very much appreciate. Annette would be mad at me if I didn't say that too, but it's true. But how are those experiences impacted now this mission with Dion and the leadership of the company now?
Well, our work is important. Our company was founded over 45 years ago by Kathy Hughes, who is still chair of the board. And so part of our DNA is the work that we do. Part of our DNA is the community service that we provide in all the markets in which we do business. And so what we do has been as important as ever in reaching the communities that we serve with truth, with entertainment, with opportunities to have fun. And so that is the business. That is the business that we're in, and it's just part of who we are.
Some of the economic headwinds that we're all dealing with, your company and the industry, and we see that, but we also see areas where there are exciting things happening, and there is growth opportunity. But let's talk about, you start with community.
Yes.
I happen to be, my primary radio station is an Urban One radio station.
Okay.
I live in Indianapolis. And for whatever reason, I feel like I'm the fifth person on the morning show on the sports station, WFA, the fan,
yes.
In Indianapolis. And it's because of that connection to I'm the REB, I've been in broadcasting all my life, but when I tune in, I'm a part of the show, I'm a part of the family. It's and I see it and I hear it impacts me, but it's critical to the success of our industry and certainly your company.
Yeah, our business is much more than just selling commercials on our terrestrial radio or our digital assets. Every time our stations are connected to things in the community, that really proves that there's something there that makes a difference where we do business. Whether it's doing a free concert, whether it's doing a health fair, whether it's doing a job fair, whether it's being the voice of information when there's a natural disaster in our communities. That's who we are. And as long as radio and our audio companies continue to realize that's who we are, we'll last the test of time. These are challenging times that we're in, make no mistake about it. But our ability to serve is what keeps us front of mind with our listeners.
Eddie, how does the team respond in that to those challenges? Is there a cadence of communication? Do you have a tiger team that sits around and looks over the hill to things that may be coming at us? And sometimes it's daily.
How do you react to that? How does the team respond?
Well, it's very hard in these times to not focus on today. And so Dion and I spend a considerable amount of time talking about what's next, while our team is focused on today. We have an incredible team at Urban One that has helped us weather a lot of storms, and this is one of them. And so we were thinking about what's going on next year, what's going on the year after that. How do we work collectively with our competitors in the industry as colleagues to keep this industry strong and viable? So our ability to look at what's next while our team is focused on today is paramount.
Right, you hit on a really important point. The RAB and all of our partners, you included, have come together in the last 2 years. It started around the 3-minute qualifier,
yes.
The shift with Nielsen. It gave us a moment where we could all come together and look at what can we do for the greater good of the industry, and you nailed it. We are strong. We are better when we are together, yes. And we are stronger when we are one. We all have our individual secret sauces.
Yes.
We all have our individual business plans. That's not what we're talking about. But when we speak with one voice, we look at what the true core is of what we do and what makes it special. We're stronger when we're doing that together.
We should not be afraid to celebrate one another's successes. When another competitor group has a great event, a great reach out to community, we should celebrate that. And we should take that to the advertising community and say, look what Odyssey did in this market. Look what iHeart did in this market. Look what we did in this market to move the needle for advertisers and the community at large. That's going to be critical to our success moving forward, is that one voice, that radio works.
Would you agree that I'm going to make a statement and you can play with it if you want, our competitors are not each other?
No, absolutely not. Our competitors, it's different than 20, 30 years ago where we were our own competitors. In this digital age, in this digital space, anybody can be a competitor walking down the street with the flip of a phone. And so that's the world in which we live in. We just have to prove we can do it better. And we can do it longer, we can do it with more resources, we can do it as part of what we do, again, part of the essence of what we do, and not just as a side strategy. That's important for the industry.
Let's talk about cross-platform opportunities. And Urban One is a company that has embraced that on many levels. Talk about your philosophy.
Well, it helps us. Alfred Liggins, our CEO, was brilliant when he launched TV One years ago. We were at the forefront in the digital space when Interactive One was launched. And so when you combine those assets, our local radio stations, TV One, I1, Reach Media, which is our syndication arm, gives us a cross-platform opportunity to serve our advertisers. It is critical to our success as we look through the ecosystem of advertisers that we can provide solutions to whatever their needs are using our different assets, and that's what's made us last over 45 years in the radio space.
How did you get started?
Wow, I have a unique story. I came from outside the industry, so I was actually CEO of the Columbus Urban League in Ohio, and Jeff Wilson, who was a friend of mine, he was at Radio One in Columbus. We did a lot of things together, and Jeff said, hey, you need to come into this business, it's fun. You really need to. We could teach you the radio part, but you'll love it. And so the company recruited me. Jeff moved on to Cleveland, so an opportunity to run our Columbus market opened up, and I was asked to become the vice president and general manager of our Columbus market. I did that for a couple of years and then moved to Cleveland as the general manager of the Cleveland market, and about a year after that, became a regional vice president, so all 3 Ohio markets reported to me. And then a year and a half ago, when David retired, became co-president of the audio division. So I have a unique path. I wish I would have came in sooner.
Right.
But it is what it helps me bring multi-industry perspective to the job, because I was in the grocery industry for a while with Kroger, over to the nonprofit space. So sort of that blended experience has helped me as I came into the radio business.
I can honestly say we're glad you're here. I'm glad you made that jump. All right, I have an unusual question for you, and that is the greatest moment of your professional career that does not appear on a resume.
Greatest moment of my professional career? I wouldn't say a moment. I've taken pride in, now that I was the young guy at one point, my career, and I had people that helped me along. And so in transitioning to the other side of sort of the career phase, to mentor young people, to help them make decisions that affect their career has been probably more gratifying to me. So that's been very, to watch folks that start at one place and watch their career ascend, that's probably more gratifying than anything, I would say.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Here and we are recording our conversation in the INCO booth at the NAB, and this week the RAB team and our members have invested in treasure and in time with the next generation. So Erica Farber, myself, Leah, Dave, our team, we've been mentoring young people. We've paid for 110 students from universities all over the United States to attend.
Wow.
And this has been going on since 2015.
Wow.
What do you tell those young people? And in my role, I hear all sorts of things. Radio, young people don't care about. Like, that is not true.
It's not true.
And the definition of radio has evolved, which is fantastic. On our stage, there's a graphic, and it says the audio leader, podcast, streaming, digital, video, sales, sports, news, entertainment, influencers. That's all plus equals radio. What do you tell those young people about their future opportunities in our industry?
Well, first let me say thank you for bringing all those young people. That is critical that they get a look into this. Because so many times, whether it's young folks, they see podcasters, radio, TV, they see the people behind the mic and think that's all this sort of industry is. And so one of the first things I talk about when I speak to classes is that there's so many more opportunities outside of being behind the mic that you need to explore, whether it's engineering, traffic, sales, production, programming. Those are all things, a world of opportunities on it, and it's all fun jobs, high-paying jobs, career jobs, and career opportunities that could lead to ownership or executive level positions. So I talk about that. I routinely tell young people to one thing about any business, understand how they make their money, because that way you can figure out where you fit into that pathway, and so you'll always be relevant. But there's so many jobs in our career opportunities in our industry that I talk about with young folks, because there's a cool factor. And the one thing we do, if we get them into the office, they see it. Once you get people in and see everything that's going on a radio station on a daily basis, that's the hook. I've always found it to be a hook. Show business every day.
And this podcast,
show business every day.
This is showbiz. All right, a couple things, and I know you have a busy schedule today as well. How is AI impacting what Urban One does on a daily basis? What do you see AI's role here?
So AI is certainly helpful. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a resource, and you have to consider it a resource. The AI helps us write scripts for commercials when we want to do a script spot for somebody. You can do that pretty quickly. AI can help us when it comes to content development on a daily basis for topics. So there's a place for AI in our business, and we're embracing it. It's not going to replace the secret sauce of sitting down with people on a day-to-day basis, whether you're talking to a client, whether you're talking to interviewing a star that's coming in the studios. But there's a place for it, and we embrace it. You can't run from it. You have to figure how does it help us do our business in a more efficient way to ultimately deliver results for our clients and deliver great content to our listeners and users.
All right, last thing.
Yes.
What should radio be doing to remain relevant, vibrant for the next 10, 15 years? Your secret sauce for this industry.
We have to do what we tell our advertisers we're good at, which is communicate. We have to tell the advertising community that we're a viable medium. We have to pat ourselves on the back. We shouldn't be shy about saying we're here, we're not going away, we're viable, we're vibrant. That's what we need to do. We've got to really come out strong as an industry and say we've been here for a long time, we're going to continue to be here, we're going to continue to deliver results, and we're going to continue to remain relevant and not be so shy about it. I think the whole industry has to really puff our chest up and be confident in who we are.
Eddie, thank you for being you. Thank you for being actively involved in the RAB as a active member of our Multicultural Committee.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a supporter of the things that we know that make us great, and we appreciate that, and the best of luck to you and Dion and the team. You're doing great work. Keep going, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.